rope isn't original because the rope would be burnt after every execution because people would steal them, people would try and sell them, but also because the rope would stretch, and that makes it less useful next time round. Now, if you walk in just before 8 o'clock with that hood over your head and chains, these doors, trap doors will be closed. The doctor waiting down there, executioner where I am, maybe some witnesses where you guys are. 4 guards in the corner called cornermen, whose job it was to keep you still. So you didn't wriggle around too much. They'd have one hand on the railing, other hand on your shoulder. Sometimes these guys are terrified. They can't stand. And then they sit on the chair instead. It's all over pretty quickly. You can have your hood removed if you want, and the executioner puts that noose over your neck and then tucks that knot just under your chin. Alright? This is different to normal. It's not your normal kind of noose. This is a British marriage knot. He tucks that little knot just under your chin, so when you fall, your head snaps back like that, and you break the neck. So it's supposed to be quick, and it's supposed to be humane. It's all over in a couple of seconds. So you're standing there with that little noose over your neck, and that knot tucked into your chin, and then you just stand there and wait. You're waiting for that clock tower at the front gate to ring 8. As soon as it does, that noise is the last noise you ever hear, because the trap door's open and you drop. Now, as I said, this was designed to break your neck, but it didn't always work. A couple of days before your execution, the executioner would come around and give you a visit, and he would measure your height, and he would measure your weight, and he would do a little bit of a calculation and work out how much rope to use. Okay, normally between 4 and 6 feet. If you got it wrong, you could go 2 ways. If the rope was too short, you called it a short drop. And you didn't fall with enough force to break the neck, so you only get a partial break. Or you get no break. And in that case, you're about to strangle. This isn't a strangulation knot, so it takes a really long time. And you could be hanging there for up to 20 minutes. Now, if it was the opposite, it's a long drop. You can maybe fall too far, too much force. And there was a guy called Charles Odgers, and he was a really famous long drop. And this guy, Charles, in the late 1800s, he had an affair with a married woman, and then he murdered her. And he went on the run. He ended up somewhere around the Guildford area. And he knew what was happening, he knew what was coming, so he was running away from the police, and they were chasing him. At some point, the stress got to him, and he had some remorse, so he decided to try and take his own life. He got a small bit of dynamite and put it in his mouth. Now when that charge exploded, it wasn't powerful enough to kill him, but it did take off his chin. Right? And some of his jaw. The police heard the noise, and they rushed in and they arrested this guy. They brought him down here, and they went to hang him. The problem is, how do you hang a guy with no chin? They tried anyway. They put that noose around his neck, pulled the handle, and when he fell, it was a long drop. And Charles fell with so much force that his head came off. Not nice for the doctor. When it was all over, the rope gets put over that hook and they lower the body down into the pit where the doctor declares you dead, fills out the death certificate, and the body is taken away and presented to the family for collection. No one wants you, you're buried in an unmarked grave in Freman Cemetery. Okay? They hung a total of 44 people in here. Alright? That's more people that are in here now. Only one of them was a woman. Her name was Martha Rendell. She was accused of killing her 3 stepchildren with acid. The last guy hung in here was Eric Edgar Cook. He was a serial killer in Perth. He killed 22 people. He injured 11 more. And they hung him in 1964. And then they finally abolished this in 1984. They got rid of the death penalty here. But they kept this just in case. You might notice some other things. You see little notches in the top of the beam where the rope is bitten into the wood. You can see sandbags to stop the doors bashing open. But also, here's an odd thing, especially if anyone here is superstitious. It's a 13-foot drop to the floor. There's 13 sections of roof. And there's 13 stairs going down into the pit, which is a nice question thing. So, if you want to take a photo, get a photo, otherwise I will meet you guys outside.